Hello everyone, welcome to Prime Sports here with me, Muftao Nabila Abla. The senior national team, the Black Stars, they have wrapped up their final training session ahead of their World Cup qualifying match against Central African Republic. That match is happening on Wednesday, and the head coach of the team, Otto, has been speaking ahead of the game on Wednesday. According to him, the qualification is not sealed yet. Let's take you through some of the things that Otto has been talking about. And one of them is where he says that it is important that we stay focused and concentrated and not to think we have already won. That is according to Otto. He says that that would be a disaster if the players begin to think that they have already won the match. Everything is in our hands, but I hope that we learn the lesson from the last away game against Chad. That was a game where they displayed such a lethargic performance. That saw them draw 1-1. He goes on to say that we have to work together because it is a team sport. Individuals can make a difference, but the most important thing is to work together, play to our strengths, and know how to respond when things go wrong. That will be quite critical if the team is to secure victory in Morocco on Wednesday. He said the team has shown in training that they are focused, concentrated, and aggressive. I think we are in a good mood to face a Central African Republic. That's the head coach of the senior national team, Otto, speaking ahead of that game, which will be happening on Wednesday. It is the penultimate round of qualifying matches that will be happening. And Madagascar, they will be in action against Comoros. Madagascar is second on the group with 16 points, whilst Comoros have got 15 points. So as it stands right now, Madagascar appears to be the only threat for Ghana in terms of qualification to the FIFA World Cup. Now, let me take you to the corridors of power, where we've been made to understand that there is a possibility of a sports levy to be laid before Parliament. What it actually means is that you and I, if it is approved, you and I will have to contribute to the sports fund that government is creating to become the dedicated source of funding for sports in the country. Evans Yeboah, he is the treasurer of the Ghana Olympic Committee. He gave this revelation during an interview with my colleague, Victor Achutamaklok.
First is, what are the income sources that will go into that fund? So if you look at things, there's an incoming sports levy that will go into the fund. There is a top-up of the Sports Gaming Commission. Don't forget, it's all about sporting activity within the gaming sector. So there is a revolving fund within that.
The sports levy, do we know how much the government is going to expect Ghanaians to contribute?
No, those details, first is the framework aspect. Okay. So that's the first approval. Once it's gotten cabinet approval, which is the framework. Go to
Parliament to be debated.
Now to go to Parliament, it will go into 3 sessions. Then now it comes back to stakeholders. Okay. Then it goes to Attorney General for the legal style. Yeah. Then we are done. So once it comes down to us, then again we can all now go into the details. First is to get the mandate from the presidency that, look, is this a go or no? And now we have the go. Okay. So once we have the go, now is to work out the
But at the conception stage, they didn't mention what figure the sports levy is targeted.
No, at the conception stage, you only have ideas building and thoughts building and has to build and how to build that framework. Okay. Once is the approval.
But have they mentioned how much they expect to raise through the sports levy?
Oh, it's going to be able to not solve all the problems, but it's going to solve some of the problems in stages.
No, I'm not asking what it will do.
Okay.
Levies essentially will raise money.
Correct.
Yeah, they are revenue sources. And I'm asking, when they mentioned it, was there a mention of how much they expect to raise annually?
No, but there was figures in triples that could be able to go to assist all the national federations and the sports sector.
So you're talking millions?
And millions.
Okay. All right.
President John Mahama, he has rewarded University for Development Studies with 500,000 Ghana cedis for winning the World University Games football tournament in China. UDS came from behind to beat Paulista University of Brazil by 2-1 to clinch a gold. And the president, satisfied with the performance, decided to give them 500,000 Ghana cedis during a ceremony at the Jubilee House, where they met him and presented the trophy that they won from China.
My government, through the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, and the Ministry of Education is working to strengthen youth and university sports systems to ensure that talented students or athletes like you are identified, developed, and supported to reach professional levels. And this is what the Minister of Sports and Recreation was talking about. We're setting up the School Sports Authority, which will concentrate on sports from the basic level to the secondary level to the university level. And so it's going to have a separate budget, and it will hold constant competitions amongst universities and secondary schools so that we can identify the talents early and bring them into the national teams. Sports and recreation are integral to Ghana's reset agenda. They promote national unity, discipline, and social inclusion, while creating pathways for youth employment and entrepreneurship. Our goal, therefore, is to develop a new ecosystem where sports is seen not only as entertainment, but as a viable sector contributing to Ghana's economic growth. We're therefore investing in sports infrastructure, talent development programs, and recreational facilities across schools and communities, ensuring that young people everywhere can discover and nurture their potential. This is 500,000 Ghana cedis to be presented to Professor. It's a reward to the team for the good job you have done. Thank you.
Recreation, yes, please join them. Ready?
A member of the team is Ezidin Alassane. He scored the winning goal in the final of the World University Football Tournament against Paulista University. He says that his dream is to play for the senior national team, the Black Stars, and also for Manchester United in the UK.
It was just at the 9 minutes, 1 minute.
To end?
Yes.
Tell me more about it.
It's not the first time of me scoring such a goal.
Okay.
Although the other two, I've got like 3 goals. 3 goals of that kind. Although the other 2 is not in an official game. This one, I was just lucky that it was in an official match. So when we got the corner, I made my mind that I was going to shoot at the goalkeeper. And I executed it well.
So what, have you been practicing for such, goals or what?
Yes, yes.
Olympico, they call it?
Yeah, Olympico.
Okay. So you've been practicing. When you go to training, you practice?
Yes, yes.
Wow. So you were not surprised that you scored?
I wasn't surprised. Just that the time that it came, I was overwhelmed with joy. I didn't even know how to celebrate. I just pulled off my shirt and I started running.
Tell me, so what has it been like, after winning this trophy? I'm sure you've been to a lot of places. What has it been like? Family calls from family, friends?
It's not easy, it's not easy. I've received several congratulatory messages, and it's not easy. Yeah. I'm just happy right now.
Okay. Where do you see yourself in the future?
Playing for the national team and one of the biggest clubs abroad.
Okay. What team do you play for?
Karela United.
Karela United. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. So you're hoping to play for the Black Stars in a bigger team?
Yes.
Okay, you want to mention a specific team?
Manchester United. That's my favorite club.
Okay.
Manchester United. Ezidin Alassane speaking to my colleague Maxwell Agbagba. Now let's do some badminton. And Ghana's junior badminton team, they have advanced to the knockout stage of the ongoing BWF Mixed Team Relay Championships after a dominant 10-0 win over Uganda. The relay format required teams to win 2 matches in each of the 5 categories: men's singles, women's singles, men's doubles, women's doubles, and mixed doubles. Edumenta opened with a 9-6 win in men's singles, followed by Rahel Kwaku's narrow 18-15 victory in the women's singles. Edumenta then paired with Shang to take the men's doubles 27-23. In the women's doubles, Kwaku and Edu, they cruised to a 36-26 win. Finally, Shang and Edu sealed the tie with a 45-36 win in the mixed doubles. Ghana went on to win all remaining matches, completing a historic 10-0 sweep. They now face European champions and third-place seed Slovakia on Thursday, October 9, 2025. The 12th Hockey African Cup of Nations is set to take place from 11th to 18th October 2025. And this tournament is taking place in Egypt. Ghana's national team, the Black Six, they will be aiming to lift the continental title for the first time since 1974. Standing on their way, however, are the likes of Nigeria, Zambia, Kenya, host Egypt, and defending champions South Africa, who last claimed the title in 2022 when Ghana hosted the tournament in Accra. Ghana is now preparing to head to Egypt, and joining me via Zoom to talk more about the team's readiness is the Black Sticks team manager, Lebene Joyi. But before that, let me take you through the list of players who have been called up, and they'll be flying out to Egypt for this championship. And this is the squad that we have on your screen. For the men, we have Benjamin Kweku for the men, Daniel Ansah Enim, Luke Kofi, Damali, Stephen Ofosu, Emmanuel Elom, Akaba, Benjamin Kofi, Jesus Ni Norte, Malik Abdio, Samuel Akpene Agbele, Francis Late Tete, Bernard Adokwe, Christopher Dogbe, Francis Foluvi, Kofi Archery, and Prince Kluche, Abdallah Addison, Joshua Amate, Sylvester Akwafo. These are for the men. For the women, this is the group that has been assembled. We have Dorothy Inkisa, Precious Osei Amponsa, Mavis Boatuma Bekun, Ajua Amwa, Adiza Suleimana, Asana Gbati, Jennifer Tenijotop, Lydia Efriye, Mercy Akong, Margaret Owusua, Rafiatu Okai, Gifty Adai, Charity Akoto, Vivian Nakwo, Martha Safwa, Jennifer Konedu, Haggett Copson, and Rahel Ajay. So these are the women who have been assembled. And as I mentioned earlier, the team manager is Lebene Ajoyi, and we've been joined to have an extensive conversation on the team's participation in this tournament. Thank you very much for your time with us this evening. Talk to us about the readiness of these boys and girls that have been called up to represent the country in this year's African Hockey Cup of Nations.
For having us on your program. I can clearly say that the team is highly motivated, we've trained enough, and really ready for the task ahead.
Okay, so narrow it down for me. I know you are in charge of the men. Narrow it down for me. In terms of the final bows and nuts being tied before you leave the shores of Accra tomorrow to Ismailia, where the championship will be taking place, what are the conversations that you've been having within the group?
We've really analyzed the teams that we'll be competing with, the likes of Egypt, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Zambia, and also South Africa. So we've watched their tapes. We've strengthened where we also shot for, and also we've also looked at how we can also capitalize on their flaws and come out victorious after the tournament. Our aim is to qualify for the World Cup, which will be held in Belgium and Netherlands.
If this team is to succeed, what would be required to give them that success?
I think we boiled down to a lot of training. That's clearly what I can say, a lot of training, a lot of motivation also, because we've assembled young players this time. Most of them are under 23, under 25. So we are really building a team, not just for this tournament, but for the tournaments ahead. That's what we are really concentrating on.
From where you sit, what would you describe as success in terms of this team's participation in the tournament?
Qualifying for the world stage. That would be a success story.
That'll be a massive success story. Quite an interesting one. But before I let you go, I also want you to talk to me about what it means for these boys representing their country in the tournament.
It really means a lot, honestly, really means a lot. Looking at when we started training, when we even joined camp with all the challenges, so motivation is high, morale is high in camp. So it really means a lot to them. Wearing the national jersey and playing for the country is something that they yearn and want to see themselves in. So I think all that they need now is motivation coming from any, probably any corporate entity will be massively accepted.
Appreciated.
And that would be the greatest motivation.
You spoke about challenges. What were those challenges? And have you overcome those challenges?
Well, overcoming them, I don't think we'll ever overcome challenges. The best we can do is probably align and see how best we can use the limited resources and maximize it. For the challenges, yes, we couldn't go to camp early as expected due to some financial challenges regarding camping the whole team. And also for equipment and stuff, we had a bit of a challenge because like some of the players, as I said, are young and we need to equip them. So it was a bit of a challenge, but in all, as I said, put on the national jersey is the ultimate goal. So we had to manage and use the limited resources to come out like with good training program.
You mentioned something that is quite critical. These players, they will be excited to wear the national jersey. So at this point, it is not just about the Black Sticks. It's about the country Ghana. Have you engaged the National Sports Authority, the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, to give you the needed support to assist you participate in this championship so that you can attain the goal that you've got?
I think I can clearly and boldly say that the Ghana Hockey Association have had extensive talks with the ministry and the National Sports Authority. We are still waiting for the financial support. I know it will come, but sometimes it delays. So as of now, we are waiting for the financial support from the ministry and also probably a visit from the ministry to motivate and boost the morale of the players, who will be something that the players are looking up for.
Okay, so as we speak, they've not had that kind of visit. And sometimes it's quite interesting that when we speak to some of you, you sound very diplomatic and political with the answers. But I can understand. I can understand that sometimes when you need support, it takes a while because of the bureaucratic processes it has to go through and all that.
Correct.
I wish you and the team all the best as you represent the country in Ismailia.
Thanks so much. And we are looking up for other supporters also supporting us, and we hope to bring the trophy to Ghana.
Thank you. Thank you. I wish you all the best. Labani Ajoye is the team manager of Ghana's Black Sticks. Now, let me take you to Germany, and we'll talk a bit about the Bundesliga. Just a few days ago, was it actually last week, actually? I was having a conversation with Daniel Barcelona, and she's back. She's back for us to have an interesting conversation. Dortmund and RB Leipzig, they squared off with both teams coming into the match on a 4-game winning streak. Daniel, if you're with me, thanks very much. Talk to me about how this match played out. RB Leipzig and Borussia Dortmund. Definitely, there will be someone to stop them along the line. Daniel, thanks very much for your time. We are extremely grateful. And we always appreciate the fact that you join us to bring us updates on what is happening in the Bundesliga. Thank you very much for your time. And this is how we're wrapping up Prime Sports here with me, Muftahu Nabila Abla. Head on to myjoyonline.com and read some more sports stories. We appreciate your company. Up next is PM Express.